Y'all ready for some lore? Y'all ready to get some dang old lore in here? It's lore time. We're doing lore. I have finished everything, but I've been saving Legends of the Star Heroes just for you, chat. Just so you and I could go through it together, have a dang old thing, learn about the story of the world Chalice. Let's see how this looks, eh? Scenario begin. Clear reward? I get 3 dragons. Let's do it. Chosen by the world legacy. The rulers of this star were not humans. The world was ruled by 7 mechanical life forms, known together as the Mech Knights. And across the land spread their vanguard, the crawlers. These crawlers tend to swarm and destroy all human-made structures in their path. They most likely lack any emotions. Hard to say, really, no one's talked to them. Helpless before those ruthless machines, mankind had no choice but to live in hiding. Kinda like Gurren Lagann. Sounds like little Gurren Lagann-y. Dense with thick trees, gloomy even in the daytime, a hinterland known as the Forest of the Stars. Therein lays a hidden village, where humans lived inconspicuously. The village was protected by a barrier that would prevent intruders from invading or even discovering it. The ritual wand, passed down through many generations, made the barrier extremely resilient, and it had not been broken. Not once. But even so, the villagers were suffocated by their anxieties day after day. Sounds like 2022, am I right? And not knowing when the great threat would come knocking at their doorstep. From within the suffocating unease of the village, there were still those determined to fend off the crawlers. Aurum and Ningirsu. There was a reason they fought so desperately. It was the village priestess and younger sister of Ningirsu, Ebe. From birth, the priestess possessed a divine power that synergizes with their ritual wand to create barriers. Ebe's power was the strongest the village had ever seen in its history, but it was meager compared to the frightening forces that grew stronger by the day. Her companions saw how hard she was trying to put on a brave face for the villagers, and wished they could lighten her burden, even by a little. Aurum and Ningirsu, along with the baby dragon Mduk, crossed the barrier in hopes of slaying even just one crawler. One day Ebe heard from inside the forest a faint sound like that of a human voice. Aurum and Ningirsu could not hear it. However, Ebe proclaimed that she keeps hearing the voice. Afraid Ebe would venture into the forest alone, Aurum, Ningirsu, and the baby dragon Mduk set foot inside the hinterland. I did it, I got a card. Part 2. The legend continues. The sun had already set, leaving only starlight to guide them. The scent of trees and soil hung in the cold air. Though her footing was unsure, Ebe ventured into the forest as if she was being guided. Careful not to lose sight of her, the 3 looked out for crawlers as they followed her. Suddenly, with an abrupt shriek, Ebe vanished before their eyes. Rushing to the place where they had lost sight of her, they saw Ebe had fallen off a low cliff. It appeared Ebe had been so spellbound in the direction of the voice that she hadn't noticed there was no ground before her. The 3 descended the cliff and were relieved to find Ebe uninjured. Before their eyes, a mysterious structure appeared. If it had been there before, they would have noticed it. But as if the structure had been there for hundreds of years, it was ensconced in trees and entwined in ivy. They nervously approached the building. The wand Eve held in her hand glowed. The building started to rumble as if in response. A mighty light radiated from the building, blowing aside the trees and cloaking everything in a blinding light. Even with their eyelids closed, the light pierced mercilessly through. When they finally opened their eyes, a tiny fairy fluttered in the air before them. The fairy spoke to the startled party. I'm Lee, the World Chalice Fairy, a spirit that's been sealed inside the building that released the bright light known as the World Legacy World Chalice. In previous times, it was her duty to guide mankind, but it got obstructed by the Mech Knights. For many years, I've been waiting for a world hero capable of activating the World Chalice. And, you know, there you are, world heroes, we got it. You did it, here you go. Have a nice little thing. Please, lend me your strength, gather the scattered starlight, save the world from the great darkness, she spoke. Though bewildered by Lee's story, Aurum and the group were moved by her earnestness and decided to lend a hand. Oh. Hearing their resolve, the Fairy Lee smiled and bestowed upon them the powers of the awakened World Chalice. I got 3 fairy. Time to practice. I can get so many things. Earth orbs. You have to defeat the Great Darkness. What makes World Chalice unique? You can bring out a slew of powerful wig monsters. You know, have fun with that. Just do it when you feel like it, you know. Draw a card. Look, it's all 3 of them. Summon Aurum the Blade Master and win in this turn. Then Link summon Imduk. Gotcha. Let's read this, With her magical staff, she can channel the living heart of the world to shield her people from the Mech Knights. Inspired by the world hero legends he heard as a boy, this crusader adds a piece of armor from every mechstrosity he destroys. Destona 32, welcome to the village. What are the mechstrosities? Is that what they call the crawlers? He's set on a quest from the Fairy Lee to recover the 7 world legacies. I'm getting spoilers. Some I know. He battles the mechstrosities never seem to end. Even when their force was invaded by mechstrocerous insects, he stood his ground and inspired the others to rout. Yeah. Anyway, let's summon Chosen. Imduk. Imduk don't got any lore because he got an effect. In Yu-Gi-Oh, you only get one or the other. And then Imduk is like, hey, you could summon another normal monster. Get another normal summon. If it battles a monster, you can battle a monster. Oh, hey, look. Link summon them. Aurum, the World Chalice Blade Master. To use its effect to special summon a world from your hand. Yeah. So then we get another one. Hello. Imduk lore be like, if this card is sent to your graveyard, attack my life points directly, but I can make bigger things. I have big Ningirsu with armor and a sword. I guess. Whatever, nerd. World Chalice be like, yo, you could summon 2 normal monsters, maybe even 3. If you feel like it. Oh, whoops. I gotta do the duel. I get three Eve. Or I could use my deck and get 3 Imduk. Let's use their deck. Let's learn how to do it. Hey, mind control. Could that be some foreshadowing, maybe? Are they trying to tell me something about the story? Ha! How unexpected. If a monster is special summoned from the extra deck, except during the damage step, you contribute this card, send that monster to the graveyard. This face-up normal summon set card leaves the field. You can special summon 2 World Legacies from your deck, except for itself. During the main phase, except the card, this you can banish this. Okay. I see what you're getting. What does this do? It's normal summon. Add a World Chalice monster from your deck to your hand. So in the graveyard, you can send 1 monster from your hand or field to the graveyard to add it to your hand. Only use each effect once per turn. Okay, so I think what I want to do... I'm going to use this. I'm going to get out... Ebe. And then we're going to... Tribute Ebe. To summon this. Then we're going to mind control your face down. Flip summon. No, I don't think I will. 2 monsters with different types and attributes. Let's do it. Oh, they've all got art things. Since this was sent to the graveyard, I can get 2 monsters. What was that effect again? Just special summon 2, eh? Yeah, why not? No restrictions on if they can attack or anything? This link card, it's not linked, though. And I mean, I could special summon 2 World Chalice monsters. Where's my link 3, though? Surely I have one. 2+ link monsters. Draw cards equal to the number of World Chalice cards this card points to. Okay. Not particularly good at the moment. I think we're just going to go to battle phase. That's more than half their life points. What does this do again? This card points to... and special summon 1 other monster from your graveyard to a zone this points to. Yeah, it has 2,000. I think we might as well. Oh. 2 World Chalice with different names? No, there's 2 World Chalice monsters. How come I can't use both of those? Weird. Well, let's set a card. Maybe they'll destroy it. That's fine. It's crawlers. What are they going to do? Oh, no. Link arrows. That's why. Good point. That's not a crawler. That's not a crawler at all. Well, I guess they want me to summon this. What's this effect again? Add 1 World Legacy card. Sure. Let's see what we got. All World Chalice gain 300 attack. If a World Chalice is destroyed, By battle, you can target one World Chalice and special summon it. Alright. Target 2 World Chalice with different names, add to your hand. If your Link summon monster to be destroyed by battle, you can banish this card from the graveyard instead. Alright. Do I have 2 World Chalice cards in the graveyard? I do. I don't have very many ways to get them onto the field. I think I want this one because I've got low attack at the moment. There we go. Let's go ahead and summon this. Summon a World Chalice things. Oh hey, Guard Dragon. Card has activated the target. You can send this if you do. Destroy that card. Banish this card from your graveyard. Target one normal monster in the graveyard. Special summon it. Okay, let's get this. This will protect me. Okay. We've got to do this. Let's do this one and this one. But he came back. Oh wait. This card is sent to the graveyard. Special summon a World Chalice monster from your hand. Hell yeah. Big. What does its effect do again? You contribute 1 World Chalice, then target one other monster in your graveyard. Special summon it to a zone this card points to. So I could just get another copy of him, and it would be slightly stronger. Yeah, sure, I like more damage. Oh wait, no, we could bring her back. Even better. She's even stronger! Do we then make Ningirsu? World Chalice monsters this card points to. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, let's go for Ningirsu. We'll use this. Treat it as 2 materials? Yes. Oh, it needs Link monsters. Okay. Never mind. Let's just go with that. I won't get to draw, and I want to be able to draw. Rush recklessly, you fiend.
How did you find my village?
But he came back. Welcome to the village, Rain Mayonnaise. Whatever, nerd, whatever. You think I care? I don't care. I should have put that right here. I'm in danger. I should care. What does this do? You can banish this card, then target one normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it to a zone a Link monster points to. Alright. I'll put it in a zone that Eve points to. Because Eve... This Link card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Cannot target this linked card with effects. This is how you do it. Gotcha. And now I can use the two of them. Put him here. Whatever, nerds. Select an optional effect. Yes. Yes. I'm resolving everything. Two cards. I'm nothing but steam, baby. All three of them are here. Whole world's behind me. Okay. This... Oh, wait. 1 second. Oh, I already confirmed it. I should have sent this. We got him. We did it. I activate Power of Greed! Hey. Do I have any others? I do. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to activate this. I'm going to send this, and whatever your back row is. Good. Most good indeed. We're going to normal summon this. We're going to activate Nobleman of Crossout on your face down. Get out of here, crawlers. Look through your opponent's deck. Do they have Deus Ex? No. Okay. Activate. Tribute this. Now, if I was smart, I would bring back I would bring back this because it has more attack. But I want the gang to be all here. We're gonna get all the lore on here, baby. Let's do it. The four of them going down. We've got Arum. We've got Eve. And the pupper attacks for game. We're getting the gang back together. Imduk's the bestest. Sure is, Eddie. I did it. We cleared it. Puppy for game is always the play. Oh hey, World Legacy Discovery, the field spell. More lore appears. To protect humankind. Accepting Lee's earnest wishes, Arum and the group promise to help her. Accompanied by Lee, the group set off to return to the village, but they encountered several crawlers who blocked their path. Arum, Ningirsu, and Imduk stood before the crawlers with their new strength coursing through their bodies. As they stood between the monsters and what they set out to protect, tension hung heavy in the air. A cold sweat dripped from Arum's chin and dampened the forest soil. As the great truncheon crescendoed, the party suddenly seized upon their foes, lunging towards the exoskeletons of the crawlers. Arum's sword cleaved the enemies with ease, Ningirsu's lance pierced nimbly, and Imduk's claws teared ferociously at their metal hides. The battle was over almost as quickly as it had started. The power of the World Chalice that Lee had granted them was much greater than expected. They couldn't conceal their surprise at the World Chalice's great power that now dwelled within their bodies. According to Lee, there are 6 more world legacies in the world, with equal power to the world Chalice. If they were to be recovered, it would be possible not only to destroy the crawlers, but to destroy the Mech Knights who ruled the world. This information provided a great ray of hope for the village people who lived so long in the gloomy forest. Following Lee's words and the guidance of the world Chalice, the young folks of the Forest of the Stars set out on a journey to seek the next world legacy. The village people. Young man, put your heart on the shelf. I said, young man, don't forget about yourself. Young man, fight the crawlers you see. And so began the journey of Aurum and the party in search of the world legacy. Although the party was on a mission to save the world, as their first time in the outside world, everything they saw and heard felt fresh and vivid. Dubstep they thought was actually good. Imagine the surprise. No matter how many crawlers would appear, Aurum and his friends would fight them off, as they did so for several days. How long must they have walked with Lee as their guide, and the world Chalice as their beacon? A humid wind caressed their cheeks. Before the party lay a vast swamp. A great artifact was submerged in the muddy expanse, and a green ogre lay claim to the swamp. The giant armor lying in the bog as well was one of the express purpose of the trip. The world legacy known as the World Armor. However, they found more than just the world armor there. Not only on the surface of the armor, but also inside, dark figures stirred. Like ants on the corpse of a dead insect, crawlers swarmed out of the world armor. Their number were countless. From a red manicular emanated a bizarre light that filled the party's field of vision. The horrific sound of the crawlers' metal hides scraping against each other united into a thunderous cacophony, as if the earth itself was shaking. Standing before the three were superior specimens, possessing power far greater than the crawlers that had crossed their paths previously. Witnessing an overwhelming sight, the party decided it was reckless to try and break through them from the front. On Lee's suggestion, the three dared not engage and instead headed for the world armor. But yet the duel will be against them. Let it begin. The great duel of our time. Oh, I'm not quite out of it. No! Rushed recklessly! And so the crawlers won. That's some asshole shit. Why would you... I'm doing it again. Fucking crawlers. That's the good ending. Alright. Let's go. I'm prepared this time. No one's gonna make a fool out of me 2 times in a row. He's playing with the eye of a crawler. I did not notice that. Ex-crawler Neurogos. Not today, my friend. I go to 12,000 life points. What do we got? Okay. So I believe what I can do... Let me read Imduk. One world Chalice monster. Gotcha. So I can summon this. I can make Imduk. Put him there. That gives me another normal summon. So I can... normal summon this. That will let me summon one from my hand. The problem is if I get rid of this by any way, and they have the field spell too, I need to get rid of that. Okay. Go this and this. The Blade Master. This will summon the other two from the deck. Fucking lair wire? Are you kidding me? Fucking lair wire. Wait, yeah, we got this. Okay. Activate the effect. Destroy this. Oh, but he has to point to shit. God damn it. Maybe next turn. Now I can make Avramax, right? No. Yeah, I'll wait till next turn.
How did you find
Then
my
I should be able to do it,
Why
hopefully.
do those people know my name? Who are they?
I could get Ningirsu, but he wouldn't point to anything. Well, I'm glad they got rid of the crawler for me. That actually helps a lot. Thanks. Welcome to the village, Rod Sightless. My life points are unceasing.
How did you find my village?
Welcome,
Why do those people know my name? Who are
Swirldurg.
they?
Swirldurg? Yeah. Okay, we got it. Special summon here. Then we can use that to make the third Imduk. I got it! I figured out the puzzle! I'm the puzzle master! It points up and to the right! We get 2 draws! Solemn Strike? What does this say? All crawlers. Once per turn, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower insect from your deck. Yeah, okay. Go for the overextend. We're going to set. We're going to use this. Wait, what? Interesting, if true. Reading. I guess I forgot it was normal summoned after all the time we spent. Well, I might as well, right? It's a little bit extra damage. We can bring back... Listen? Yeah. Alright, if you've got like Mirror Force, I'm going to shit my fuck. Oh, he's not summoning that shit again. That shit is getting the fuck out of here. I'm going to rampart his blasters. It's ogre for you! Send one monster from your hand to graveyard. Okay. Do I want to do Ningirsu again? And just end it? Yeah, probably. I get to draw again because they point. Doggo! He's a pupper, he's a pupper. He's a pupper, he's a pupper, he's a pupper. Normal the pupper. Now, pupper, do your duty. Send this to the graveyard and whatever their monster is. Now, pupper. Make us a family once more. One way or another, we're getting the lore. He may be here in defense position, but he's here. Ah, that was more challenging than I expected it to be. We did it, though. We got it. I cleared it. Oh, there's more stuff. The goal, we get 3 of the World Chalice. The hardest part hasn't come yet. Adversiveri crawlers ubidas. With the world armor in front of them, Aram's party became blocked by a swarm of crawlers. No matter how many monsters they defeated, a new swarm appeared, trampling the debris of the fallen. Now divided, the party struggled. The seemingly endless battles had whittled the party's strength down to almost nothing. They were unable to advance, but retreating wasn't an option either. They had no choice but to fight until all strength was gone. But just then, as Aram and the party were about to collapse, Lee called out to them. By defeating the superior X-Crawler, you should be able to halt the movements of the other crawlers. In the midst of the battle, Lee had discovered that the X-Crawler was the commander of the crawlers. Trusting Lee's insight, the party pierced through the siege and closed in on one of the X-Crawlers. The X-Crawler resisted fiercely, but they channeled the last of their strength to defeat it. Just as the commander collapsed, the swarm of crawlers surrounding the party suddenly stopped moving. Greatly wounded, Aram and the party finally arrived under the world armor, but there were more than just crawlers here. 7 colors of light suddenly shone down from the heavens. There appeared the 7 knights. The figures before them were metallic and emanated a radiant glow that enveloped their bodies in a lustrous light. The Mech Knights, who ruled over mankind and all the world, had now descended to this very place. Aram and his friends found it difficult to describe the figures with mortal words. They could only stand frozen in their otherworldly appearance, gawking in horror as they said, "Move, man! He moves!" Then suddenly, the Mech Knights reached their hands out silently. A mysterious energy sprung forth from their hands and began to surround Ebe. Ebe was exhausted, no, completely spent. The magical barrier provided by Ebe had no resistance to the force field. The rest of the party desperately struggled to rescue Ebe. However, The same light from which they appeared, Ebe and the 7 knights, vanished without a trace. Lee cautioned of the danger. If Ebe's wand were stolen, and the other world legacies fell into the wrong hands, Aurum and his comrades set out to rescue Ebe and recover the next world legacy. No, I don't want to go to the store. It doesn't look like there's any more story here. Does that mean I've unlocked the next one? New gate options are available. Let's keep going. There's some Tindangles in the Crawler Loner deck. And so it begins. My man. Gift of the Martyr. Ebe was held captive. The stolen ritual wand was sealed inside the core of Mech Knight Blue Sky, its power source. She'd been captured forcibly, but up to this point, the Mech Knights hadn't laid a hand on her. Ebe was deep in thought. The great darkness is using the crawlers to threaten humankind. What if humankind's perception of the Mech Knights had been wrong all along? Meanwhile, Aurum and the party arrived at the base of the Mech Knights after a long quest to rescue Ebe. Ruins of a forgotten civilization lay before them, the husks of decayed buildings, long buried by crustal movements, barely broke the ancient Earth's surface. Among them, artificial forms lay untouched in pristine condition. There, the activated World Legacy World Shield shone brightly as the World Legacy known as the World Lance rose sharply out of the earth. Even with the power of the World Chalice, it was a fool's errand to challenge the Mech Knights. Following Lee's word, Aurum and the group decided on a sneak attack on the World Shield. Before the party, a knight appeared, then another, then another. Soon, all of them were here. Previously, they wouldn't have stood a chance, but now it was different. Fundamentally different. They had to rescue Ebe. Their determination made them fight with blood-curdling ferocity. Sensing danger, the Mech Knights transformed into a united form, the Mech Knight Spectrum Supreme. He has a boot on his head. He's talking about toothbrushing. What more could you expect from such a fiend? And so it begins. The great duel. Not to be confused with fusion. That was a little different. Interesting field. Ah, I see. Mech Knight's going first, eh? Haha! 1,000, but it came back. X of monster special summon from the extra deck. Your opponent cannot target during the standby phase. Then your opponent can special summon one monster from their hand or graveyard. Yes, actually. Oh, wait. If I do that, it turns off my unexpected dies. I guess not, because I have no other way to get rid of it then. Let's use our field spell and get... I don't know why we got terraforming in this. I'm curious, does the unexpected die not have Ebe anymore? No, she's not there. Let's see. Leaves the field. Special summon 2. Okay. I'll set it. Tribute set. Activate effect. And set another card. I end my turn, World Shield. If you out the shield 7 times, you'll eventually win. Best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Hey, hot diggity daffodil. Your North, thank you, $150. Holy fucking shit. I tip my hat to you. You get to see the baldness of my head. Thank you very much, good sir. I much appreciate it. That'll be added to the card. Love your contents. Get all the cards. We're doing it, baby. We're gonna get all the cards. Every last card. Uh-oh, he moving. Blue sky. Yeah, that's fine. Purple Nightfall. They link summoned. They linked it away. Purple Nightfall. This deck is pretty brutal. Well, I guess we're doing this. Yeah, let's try this, although this is just gonna chain to it. Wow! Their deck is a lot more powerful than mine. BTTV and Frankers and 7TV, I don't know how to do that. 750 and dips, yeah, did he say anything else in here? Was there any message? No, he just came in, he was like, yo, what's up? Yes. And yes. Yeah, we're gonna get this. Summon that, and then the World Chalice will get us normal or special summoned. Alright. Let's get these two. Wow, Eve's got a lot of defense, or Lee does. I didn't even realize that. Another World Chalice. They can't get all of them. Mechanical Hound. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can target one face-up spell trap, return it to the hands. If you do, special summon this card. What's in my grave? I almost hit F1. Alright, what else do I have in the extra deck? Is it just the same things minus Eve? Ooh, this is gonna be hard. This is gonna be hard, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we're gonna activate this by sending the Mechanical Hound. This is only negating traps, which is not a problem at the moment. Just in case, we're gonna summon this over here. Use the effects. We'll get this. Yeah. Okay, I'm almost there. I gotta use the last of my resources. We could do this, use this and this, summon to the leftmost zone, or the middle zone. Then we can make another one, and now it points to 2 cards. He might point to himself, but that doesn't matter. What do I have left in my extra deck? Literally just a third Ningirsu. So these effects are pointless. Oh boy. What does Ningirsu do? It can send one card from both players' fields to the graveyard. This card points to, okay. Set this. Activate. Oh, he's tagging out Spectrum Supreme. You fool! It's over for you! I have two Ningirsus, and you have nothing! Get off of my field! Get off of my plane! You think you know what's what? Huh? You think you know better than me? I control the world shield now! It's mine, and you'll never have it again! He who controls the world shield controls life. Battle phase! Battle phase! Oh, the battle phase! That was a difficult one. We did a good job though. I did it. First try. I had to do a lot of thunking, but I got it first try. The World Legacy Trap Globe. Neat. Oops. Went the wrong way. We gotta continue. We gotta get more lore. The disrespect with the shield. Disrespect towards the AI is the best kind of disrespect. Hey, we get the thing. Alrighty. Aurum and friends battled the Mech Knight Spectrum Supreme, the culmination of the Mech Knight's power, and they used all their might, every ounce of might that they could muster. As the tide turned in the battle, Ningirsu gathered his strength and put his all into one decisive strike with his spear. However, his attack was parried by the Mech Knight Spectrum Supreme, opening a large hole in the wall. The already fragile ruins couldn't withstand the impact and began to collapse. Before the dust settled, so as to not be noticed by the Mech Knight Spectrum Supreme, Ningirsu directed a subtle glance towards Lee. Noticing the glance, Lee nodded slightly and slipped from the battlefield. She signaled her intention to infiltrate the base alone and rescue Eve. Lee flew feverishly before finally arriving at Eve. Eve breathed a sigh of relief when she saw Lee there unharmed. But her relief was short-lived, as she learned that the others were battling the Mech Knights. Maybe it was they who were wrong to battle the Mech Knights. To know the truth, she had to stop the battle immediately. As Eve uttered those words, Lee, who stood in front of her, now slowly turned around. Upon their first meeting, Lee had greeted Eve with the warm smile of a fairy. But her smile had transformed, now blackened and hideous. Terrified, Eve sought to scream, but her consciousness was consumed by deep darkness before she could utter a single noise. My God! And then what happened? Oh hey, this is actually a good card. Aurum and the others continued to battle. All of a sudden, an explosion occurred inside the facility. Immediately, Aurum felt as if the world Chalice awakened again, though the feeling was now greatly intensified. Everyone on the battlefield stopped fighting, transfixed at that moment. Just then a figure appeared. She was standing on the mountain of debris before them. It was the visage of Eve, unmistakably, from head to toe. But her face betrayed something sinister. Her eyes glowed mysteriously, and an evil aura emanated from her body. She also had less clothing on. She had become a tramp. No longer the lady who would eat meatballs and spaghetti with a dog. She went from lady to tramp. The signs suggested that the figure before them was not the Eve they knew. She had tattoos, too. One of those tramp stamps, if you will. Her laughter was nothing like that of Eve. She now spoke to the confused group. I am Lee, and this body is now mine. Sweet Eve was no longer there. The feminine resonance of her voice was now poisoned with a booming dissonance. Aurum and the others glared at her with confusion and then anger. Meeting their gaze, Nightmare Corruptor Ibli emitted a force field. Ah, she's Eve and Lee. That's why she's Ibli, you get it? The force field now forcibly absorbed the power of the world Chalice within Aurum and the others, and now it threatened to take their very lives. However, it wouldn't be. The Mech Knight Spectrum Supreme, who they've been fighting to the death just moments before, rescued them. Throwing itself at them, the power of Ibli was so great it caused the form of Mech Knight Spectrum Supreme to become unjoined in time. Separating into 7, the Mech Knights were severely damaged. Then Ibli, with a familiar hand, proceeded to extract the cores from each of the Mech Knights, one by one. It was now clear that there was a greater danger in Ibli possessing both the power of Eve as well as that of the ritual wand. Seeking to prevent this, the Mech Knight Blue Sky sought to transfer control of the wand to someone other than Eve. Showing considerable growth in battle, Aurum was the one chosen as the wand's successor. Ibli's power created a shockwave that launched Aurum towards the edge of the cliff. The Mech Knight Blue Sky stretched out his arm to help him. Wordlessly, their gazes met. Finally, they realized what true love was, on the battlefield of all places, and they knew they would never want to be apart again. Aurum sensed in his heart that the knight was trying to convey something, when a dazzling light suddenly shone. That next moment, Aurum, adorned in new armor, not of the world Chalice, and holding a sword in each hand, stood at the edge of the cliff. "Check this out," he said, in a booming voice. No one had beheld something of this magnitude. If there had been a cashier of the world Chalice, they would not be able to check this out. They would have to call the world Chalice's manager over to look up the price in a book. As Mech Knight Avram, successor to the ritual wand. Oh hey, check that out. We got it. He bounced that check. Since once owned by Lieb, the ritual wand had passed down through generations of the village of the Forest of the Stars. It was the key to the fate of the stars, and had the power to unlock the world legacies. In a split-second decision, Aurum had been chosen to succeed the wand, not by the wand's controller Eve, but by the Mech Knights. Then the succession of the key was split into 2, just like the pair's sword was. Knowing Eve rested inside of her, still possessed the key's power, Ibli set off to gain possession of the world lance before Aurum could reach it. Aurum chased after her, determined to stop her. However, in his path stood the Nightmare Beast, born from the power contained in the cores that Ibli stole from the Mech Knight. Aram, having just received his new powers, had to contend with the formidable strength of the 6 Nightmare Beasts. Now Ningirsu, who'd rushed to Aram's side along with Imduk, said to him, "Oh, we'll hold him back. You go ahead, buddy. You got this. Bark!" His voice was quiet but resolute. Having lost the power of the World Chalice, Ningirsu knew he would be powerless to stop Ibli, even if he could catch her. Without waiting for Aram's reply, Ningirsu leapt out, facing the beast, spear in hand. Though nearly powerless, Ningirsu still deftly handled his spear, as if possessed. As Nightmare Mermaid was crushed, the beasts all turned their heads towards the spear wielder in unison. He's like a black-veiled Aiel, I tell you what. I put the Wheel of Time emote in there. Gotta hit that quota. He must have wanted to pursue his little sister more than anyone else. Damn it, Japan! Can you just have one story? Aram took off to pursue Ibli in the World Lance, with the determination of Ningirsu as the wind in his sails. Left alone, Ningirsu continued to fight by himself, his roars echoing through the battlefield. Do I have to fight the nightmares now, and they've taken out Avram and Ibli, so I'm just Ningirsu alone? I don't even have Lee either. It's just me and the guard dragon. Perhaps even worse. Even worse! What do we got here? Oh, hey! Some Mech Knights and Grave of the Super Ancient Organism? All level 6 or higher cannot declare attacks or activate their effects. Do I not have level 6 monsters? World Legacy Scars. But they have it too. Oh boy. You discard one Mech Knight monster, one World Legacy card to draw a card. Alright, let's try it. What can we draw into, buddy? I can't use the second effect yet. What's up with that? Okay. Reinforcements of the army. What the fuck is this? This card is in your hand. You can target 2 spell cards on the field, one from each side of the field. Banish them, and if you do, summon this card. I'll take that for later. Okay, I guess I set Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. And then we say, "Hey there, Mr. Blue. What you get? A thing for you. Let me search, I searchy do. What I get, I want." This is the only Mech Knight in the deck. Check this out! Alright. I have no extra deck. I have no extra deck and I must scream. So this is useless now, because I don't have a link point I can summon to. And I don't have link monsters that can be negated. I guess I'll just summon a normal monster. At least he gains attack. Well, I'm halfway there. Halfway there. Halfway there. It has 400 attack. But the lore, it's thematic. You take no battle damage from attacks involving your co-linked monster. Move one nightmare, switch the locations of a nightmare. Alright. I guess you could do that. Your opponent is about to end their turn. Oh. Okay. I want to know why every time I fight, I get Brick City. You didn't know me. I had to be going in the Go Brick City. Oh, there we go. We did it. That was the hardest one yet. That one, I could tell that this was the climax of the duel. I can tell. Nightmare Demon Beast, eh? Some people need to attempt this forever. Alright. I had to do that 13 times. Okay. That was a weird one. Anyway. What do we get? Oh, hey, look, he's like, get away from her, you bitch. Bow, wow, wow, wow. Aurum rushed to the base of the World Lance, but it was too late! By the time he arrived, Ibli had already finished activating the World Lance, however one does that. With newfound power in the World Lance, Ibli launched an aggressive assault on Aurum. With such destructive force that each blow shook the earth, Aurum faced the attacks alone. In the face of those attacks, Aurum now lay wounded on the ground. Then perish, she said. Ibli moved to pick up Aurum's discarded sword, now swinging it over and over as if to check its weight. Then Ibli moved in closer to inflict the fatal blow on Aurum. Aurum couldn't move his upper body, let alone stand. All he could do was wiggle his legs, and you better believe he was doing that. Just as Ibli raised the sword to strike, a small shadow emerged from Aurum's cloak. The young dragon Imduk summoned his otherworldly power between the young boy and girl, determined to help his companions in their time of crisis with whatever he could muster. That power suppressed the evil that dwelt in Eve, if only for a moment. By suppressing Lee's evil spirit, the spirit of Eve that resided deep within the depths had now awakened. Aurum laid on the ground powerless. Imduk had exhausted his powers and was unable to move, and Eve was now holding the sword in her hand. Realizing the situation, she made her decision. Only she could put an end to Eve's evil desires. Her hand that held the sword now tensed with strength. Lee realized Eve's intentions and tried to resist, but Eve's awakened spirit overcame her. She sees a flashback of her childhood friend, desperately calling in her direction. The young girl drew short, rapid breaths, points the blade to herself. And everyone had a party. That's what the 4Kids thing. When Ningirsu arrived at the scene, he saw his childhood friend holding the limp body of his little sister in his arms, repeatedly calling her name. At the cruel end of this surreal scene, the older brother could do nothing but stand there, stunned and speechless. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And there you go. That's the end. And everybody died. Except they didn't quite. Except not quite, except there's still more. I mean, not here. They're kinda there. Extended secret? Do you want to go to the store? Sure. So there's the World Legacy lore. But if you're curious, the packs that have this, they have the Mech Knights and the Crawlers. Oh wait, no, that's not it. One second, where's my secret packs? I think I have them unlocked because I was buying Crusadia stuff. Oops, I picked the wrong thing. Maybe the Orchest bit will be the first. Yeah. Oh, I don't have it. I wonder if I can see it in the deck. Where you go? We'll go into the budget megalith. Crusadia is so fun on the ladder. Makes the duels go by fast. Orchist. It turns out... It turns out that he might not have been able to give up his sister, you know? Just a little bit. He may have possibly used her DNA to create some kind of monster. Some kind of, like, weird robot in the shape of her, you know? Some kind of weird, like, Eve-shaped robot. And then for some reason, he also, like, turned into a giant thing with, like, an oboe. And he made some stuff in the shape of a harp. I don't understand what the harps have to do with stuff. He made a Doot skeleton. There's a symbol skeleton, you know? Somehow, I was like, please explain, Konami. What's happening in this lore? Why did Ningirsu turn himself into Longirsu and make an orchestra? He likes the music, what can he say? But yeah, this story still has a long way to go. Actually, let me see if I have the thing. Let me know, does this guy look a little familiar to you, chat? This Crusadia card? Does Maximus, you know, he's got that armor, he's got that, he's got the hair. My man went full Deus Vult. And boy, you know that little dragon? He grew up a little bit too. And then he and him grew up, and they became friends with a lion. And some kind of, like, tree spirit woman. I don't know what her deal is. And then he became Crusadia Knight Avramax. He is Mech Knight and Crusadia. And he got blue anime hair. Arborea and the lion formed the ritual beast? I don't quite think so. Where is it at? I know it's around here somewhere. There's one of my... I don't really look up Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, art very often, right? Like, fan art. But there's one in particular. Well, this is one of my favorite, like, World Legacy related artworks. Where it's just like, you know, the hero's journey. Yeah, we're having a good time. Oh, things are not as good. And then eventually he leaves and it's just him and Imduk. And then the king must stand alone, forever abandoned by his friends. It says so much in, like, just one episode. Like, 4 becomes 3, becomes 2. The lonely journey.